Hey everyone, welcome back to Baking with Liv. Today we are going to be making some melted snowman cookies. Now these cookies are actually available in a kit and you can order them through our Facebook page or you can come by the stand and pick one up. So each kit comes with two cookies, a small circle and a large circle. You're going to get a bag of white royal icing, and then you are going to get your royal icing transfers and a toothpick. Now, the transfers are going to be your nose, your eyes, your mouth, and if you choose so, your buttons. So, the first thing you're going to do is make a small slit in the bag, and you are going to make a border on the outside of your large and your small cookies. Go slowly. Try and keep, as close to the circle as you can. However, if it's a little off center, don't worry about it. It's a melted snowman. So, I just finished my first large circle. I'm going to push that aside and then I'm going to start on my small circle and begin outlining it. Okay, so now that I have that done, I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to let it harden for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, coming back after those 15 to 20 minutes, you're going to start filling in the inside. So go slowly around the edges and start filling it in. Be careful, you don't want to use too much icing, otherwise it will fall off the side of the cookie. You can just clean up the edges, it's not a big deal, but to save yourself some time, just go slow. So, I've done the first cookie. I'm going to let that icing kind of fill in, and I'm going to move on to the second cookie, start putting some icing in there, and then I'll go back to the larger cookie and fill in more with icing. Now, after you have your icing in there, to fill in any gaps at all, grab that packet again in your toothpick, and we will use that now to fill in the edges and make sure everything is nice and smooth. So you see me with the toothpick, I'm going to fill in that hole right there. I'm going to move to the edges. The edges are always the problem area. Get that icing all the way to the edge. Now that the large cookie's done, we're going to fill in just a few spots on the smaller cookie. Now, what I like to do at this point is I'm going to let this harden for about 5 minutes. You don't want to let it harden too much, otherwise you're going to see little dents in the cookie when you do this. But I let it harden for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put those icing transfers on there. So your nose, your eyes, your mouth, if you want to, buttons on the larger cookie. So you can pause the video and then come back in about 5 minutes to do that. Now that we've waited, we will grab our bag of transfers, pour them out in your hand, put them on a little plate, whatever works for you. And I'm going to place the nose first. That just gives me a nice central location to start off with. I'm going to place some eyes. Remember, it doesn't have to be exactly how a face would look at all. This is a melted snowman. He is melting, so everything just kind of slides off wherever. And by waiting that 5 minutes and letting the icing crust a bit, harden a bit, it's going to make sure that those transfers have a bit more dimension to them. They're going to stick to the cookie icing, but they're not going to sink all the way in. If you decide to do it before, they'll sink in, but the color will still be there. It'll all be fine, but I just kind of like that bit of texture that this will give. So now that you've placed your face there, if you want to add buttons, you can put them on the larger one, or you can wait to the end to put buttons on them if you want to, like I'm going to do later. But allow this to dry for at least a few hours. If you're doing this in the evening, wait until the next morning if you want to. And now we're going to put the head on the bottom of the snowman. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your larger cookie, make sure you have that in front of you, and then pick up your smaller cookie, flip it over, add some icing. You want to put enough to attach it to the bottom, and you're going to place it slightly off center on your larger cookie. Just like that. Now, I decided to add some buttons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more of that white icing and make two really tiny dots right here. So one right here and one right here. And then I'm going to grab two more of the black coal icing transfers, and I'm going to put those on top of the two little white dots. Here's one. Oh, and I dropped that one, so I've got to get it out. And now I'm going to put that on the cookie. Make sure by using the toothpick that they're on securely. And that is your melted snowman cookie. I hope you enjoyed making this cookie, and we will have another kit out next month that you can come by and pick up, or you can order off our Facebook page. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this.